In this video, we'll solve a few linear equations, and we're going to solve linear equations in one variable. So I have a few examples here, solve the equations below, and I'm going to solve a few of them. Now I want you to keep in mind, if between the number and the variable you have plus, you have to use subtraction to separate or to isolate your variable. If you have subtraction, you have to add. If you have multiplication, you have to divide, and if you have a division, you have to multiply. So we have to keep this in mind. So for example, problem 1, negative 3 over 5 p equals 4 over 15. To solve the equation means to find the value of p between the number, which is negative 3 over 5, and the variable which we want to find. The operation is multiplication. So when we have multiplication, we have to divide. So in order to separate p, we are going to divide by negative 3 over 5 both sides. So negative 3 over 5 divided by negative 3 over 5, it's 1. So we get p on the right side, on the left side, equals 4 over 15 divided by negative 3 over 5. And I hope you remember that to divide fractions means to keep the first fraction and to multiply by the reciprocal of the second fraction, which is negative 5 over 3. And 15 and 5 can be both divided by 5, so we get 1 and 3. And we multiply the fractions across. So plus 4 times negative 1 is negative 4, over 3 times 3 is 9, and we found out that the variable p is negative 4 over 9. Let's solve problem 5. So 3x plus 1 equals negative 7. So we want to find x. So between the variable and the number, it's a plus. So we are going to subtract 1 from both sides. So we get 3x equals negative 7 minus 1, negative 8. Between the variable and the number, it's times now. So we are going to divide both sides by 3. So we get x equals negative 8 over 3. Let's put that in a box. Let's solve problem 9. 0.55x minus 0.6 equals 2.05x. So in this problem, we have decimals. We also have variables on both sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 0.55x from both sides. That way we are going to have x only on one side. So on the left side, this is 0, so we end up with negative 0.6 equals 2.05 minus 0.55 is 1.5x. In order to find x, we are going to divide by 1.5 both sides. This gives us 1. So x equals negative 0.6 divided by 1.5 is negative 0.4. Let's put that in a box. Let's solve problem 6. Now problem 6 is a little bit different than the other ones because it has parentheses, it has letters on both sides. So what we're going to do first is we're going to open the parentheses. So negative 3 times w is negative 3w. Negative 3 times negative 4, it's plus 12, plus 5 equals 10. Now this negative means in front of the parentheses there is a negative 1. So negative 1 times w is negative w, and negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. Let's add like terms, so negative 3w plus 17, because 12 plus 5, they are alike. 10 minus 1 is 9, minus w. The next step is get all the w's on one side. So I'm going to add w to both sides, and I'm going to subtract 17 from both sides to have the letters on one side and the numbers on the other. So negative 3w plus w, that is negative 2w. 17 minus 17 is 0, equals 9 minus 17, that's 8, negative 8. minus w plus w is 0. So in order to find w, because between w and -2 it's times, we are going to divide by -2 both sides. So these two cancel and we get 1. And w equals -8 divided by -2, it's 4. So we found the unknown value. Let's solve problem 10. So we have x plus 1 equals x plus 2. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides. And we get 1, because x minus x is 0. So x minus x 0, plus 1, we get 1 on the left side, and x minus x is 0, and we get 2 on the other side. Well, 1 equals 2, that's false. So what does that mean? It means no real solutions, or no solutions. Because there is no number that we substitute for x and is going to give us something true. Or we can write this empty set. Let's solve problem 11. So 11 says 2 times x plus 4 equals 2x plus 8. So let's open the parentheses on the left side. So we get 2x plus 8 equals 2x plus 8. We can subtract 2x to get x on both sides. Now, on only one side, 2x minus 2x is 0, so we end up with 8 equals 8, which is true. So, in the previous problem it was false, but here it's true. So what does that mean? No matter what number you put instead of x in the original problem, you'll always get something true. Let's say if x is 0, you get 0 plus 4, that's 4 times 2, 8. If you replace x with 0 here, you're going to get 8. If you replace 1, you're going to get 10 equals 10, and so on. So all real numbers are solutions. Or if we want to write it as an interval, we would write from -infinity to infinity. Any of them are solutions. So let's take a look at all we've done. So if we were to draw a conclusion, we notice that the problems when we started, we got one solution, right? In the majority of them, we got one solution. Then we got no solution. And then we got all real numbers are solutions. So conclusion, when we are solving a linear equation of the form ax plus b equals 0, we can get one solution, we can get no solution, or we can get all real numbers are solutions. That's one of these three situations. And let's solve a couple more problems. Problem 8 was x minus 2 over 5 minus x minus 4 over 2 equals 2 plus x plus 4 over 10. So this is an equation, a linear equation, but it contains fractions. So the very first thing that I'm going to do, well, first of all, I'm going to put 2 over 1 so that I can see all the denominators. 5, 2, 1, and 10. So let's start by finding the LCD. The LCD of 1, 2, 5, and 10, the least common denominator, or the number that can be divided evenly by 5, by 2, by 1, and by 10, it's actually 10. So let's use this number to multiply every single equation by 10. So I'm going to multiply this one by 10 over 1, this one by 10 over 1, this one by 10 over 1, and this one by 10 over 1. So every single term, I think I said equation, every single term is going to be multiplied by 10, by this. So now, 10 over 1 times x minus 2 over 5, well, 10 divided, because this fraction means division, 10 divided by 5, it's 2. So I'm going to put a 2 here. That's going to create the term 2 times x minus 2. So no more fraction on the first term. Now minus 10 divided by 2, that's 5. So we are going to get minus 5 times x minus 4. And notice how I put parentheses around these terms because I get two terms there. So I want to make sure I'm multiplying the coefficient or the constant in front by each of these. Equals. After the equal sign, I have 2 over 1 times 10 over 1, which is 20, plus, and then I have 10 divided by 10, that's 1, so I get x plus 4. So the equation that we obtain, it's very similar with problem 6, right? Where what did we do? We distributed the numbers in front of the parentheses. So let's do that. So 2 times x, 2 times negative 2. So we get 2x minus 4. Minus 5 times x is negative 5x. Negative 5 times negative 4 is plus 20. Equals 20 plus, and we can open the parentheses here. So let's add like terms. 2x minus 5x is negative 3x. Negative 4 plus 20, that's 16, equals x plus 20 plus 4 is 24. We have x on both sides, so I'm going to add 3x to both sides. If you decided to subtract x from both sides to move this one from the right to the left, you can do that. And let's subtract 16 from both sides, and let's see what we get. Sorry, not subtract 16. Subtract 24 from both sides. So, negative 3x plus 3x, that's 0. 16 minus 24, that's negative 8, equals x plus 3x, that's 4x, and 24 minus 24 is 0. I have 4x equals negative 8, so I want to find x by itself. So I'm going to divide by 4 both sides, and we get x equals negative 2. Put that in a... And we can actually check if we want to see, is x equals negative 2 the solution? So I'm going to replace in the original problem. So x minus 2 over 5, that's negative 2 minus 2 over 5, minus x minus 4, so that's negative 2 minus 4 over 2, equals, we are asking if it's 2 plus negative 2 plus 4 over 10. So everywhere it was x before, I replace with negative 2 because that's what we got as our solution. Negative 2 minus 2, that's negative 4 over 5. Negative 2 minus 4, that's negative 6. With the negative in front, it's plus 6 over 2, which we can directly say it's 3. Equals 2 plus, well, negative 2 plus 4, that's 2 over 10, which can be written, let's write 2 over 10 for now. So now let's add two fractions. I put 3 over 1, and I'm going to multiply by 5 over 5 to have the same denominator. So negative 4 over 5 plus 15 over 5. Does that equal the answer on the right? So that's 2 plus 2 over 10. Both of them can be divided by 2. So it's plus 1 over 5. So the right side is 11, the left side it's 11 over 5. And the right side, well, it's 2 over 1. Add the same denominator, so 10 plus 1 over 5. And we did get 11 over 5 equals 11 over 5. So we got that negative 2 was indeed the solution. And one more problem, one more type of problems. If we have, for example, example 13, it said I equals PRT. This is a formula for finding the simple interest. And they say solve for R. So this problem is a little bit different than the other ones because it has only letters in it. And, well, it has more than one, right? Now, in order to solve for R means we want to get R by itself. Right now, it solves for I because it's I by itself. Now, between R and the other terms or factors, it's multiplication. So we are going to use the opposite, which is division. So I'm going to divide by pt both sides, and p divided by p it's 1, t divided by t it's 1. So R equals I over pt, and we actually got R by itself. I hope this helps.